So, everyone, welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Tim Ferguson on the big trade involving the Nashville Predators and Columbus Blue Jackets, which I thought would happen a week ago. I said I could see it happening. I actually thought it was going to be Seth. I thought it was either going to be Seth Jones for Ryan Johansen or Seth Jones for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, just because I had a gut feeling. So when anyone gives me shit about my gut feelings from now on, it's going to be like, oh yeah, by the way. See the writing on the wall. Let's jump right into the nitty-gritty of the trade. Seth Jones goes to Columbus. Ryan Johansen is on his way to the Music City. Pretty intriguing move. A 21-year-old for a 23-year-old is not something you see every day, particularly guys that have, played at such high, calibers, and Johansen being an all-star last season, and, Seth Jones being, the next big thing among American defensemen. And, it's one of those situations you look at what he brings to the table, and I think it just kind of got lost in the shuffle in Nashville. And I said it a week ago, he's not going to reach his potential being the number 3 defenseman with the Predators. And likewise, the Predators aren't going to get where they want to go by having, such a surplus on defense when you've got other guys you can kind of pick and plug. And, all due respect to Jones, not having the best year offensively. And again, I think a huge part of it is playing behind Shea Weber and Roman Josi, who, ironically enough, are Nashville's 2 leading scorers. So, tough situation for Jones. But, you look at Ryan Ellis and some of the other defensemen they have, it's like, whether it's a Netcomb or, some of the guys that they've had come up and play some minutes, since the start of the year, Jones became kind of expendable. And, one way or the other isn't the right way to say it, maybe not, but that's just the reality of it. He became an expendable asset. They were able to go out, get themselves serve a very, very good number 1 center who's still pretty young, who needed a change of scenery to get going offensively, and I think he's getting that. We'll get that in Nashville, and a lot of good centers have had really, really good years under Peter Laviolette. Whether it's an Eric Stahl, Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, Claude Giroux, whoever. He's a center whisperer, and all due respect to Mike Ribeiro, Mike Fisher, and guys like that, he hasn't had that in Nashville. In Johansen, you get that. You get a crafty, nifty playmaker that can facilitate, go out against other teams' top lines, be that big center you need to compete in the Western Conference. And, Nashville wants to make a run at it this year. They get the pieces in place to do it, and now they, further solidified themselves as a contender in the Western Conference. So, again, I like it, and then from the Blue Jackets' perspective, I'm curious to see how Ryan Murray and Seth Jones play together, and I think it's one thing people don't realize. First of all, Seth Jones and Ryan Johansen are both products of the Portland Winterhawks, but the Everett Silvertips originally drafted Seth Jones, so him and Ryan Johansen could have been defense partners in Everett. Something pretty intriguing to think about. This was the Silvertips' dream defensive tandem, and now it's kind of happening in Columbus. It's kind of funny. I find weird humor like that, but that's it's just the way I'm looking at it. We'll see how he does under Tortorella, but I think I saw a tweet from, I forget who it was, but basically the amount of great American talent Nashville has between Saad, between Milano, Zach Werenski, and now Jones. It's like, damn. A lot of good young American talent under the age of 25 out there in the Buckeye State. So we'll see how it all shakes up. But again, I really like it for Nashville. They address that need with their number 1 center, and then for the Jackets, you get that anchor on your blue line, and you get Seth Jones a chance to really take off and see what he can do. I think it can be a win-win for both teams. Both teams can really reap the benefits of acquiring younger players that needed changes of scenery. In terms of the change of scenery, it's not so much Jones' organization, it's just a depth issue, and he wasn't getting that chance, so we'll see how it all works out. So I got this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.